This computer will rule the world.
Hey there, and welcome back to Hold and Modify. It's Q coming at you again with a lightwave video. This is going to be probably a shorter one. I know I always say that and they end up being a little longer, but this one is going to be just me talking and playing around. I think I showed you, gosh, I don't know, a couple months ago, Gunstar from The Last Starfighter, right? And we didn't get to do a lot with it. I did kind of a brief scene just kind of showing it off and then quickly ran away from it. But I thought it'd be fun to play around with it a little more, get to see what else we might be able to do with it. This is the last thing I did for us. I had this kind of Gunstar facing off with a Kodan, and I just did a couple of quick still frames. But I thought maybe it would be neat to just see what we can do with some lighting in here. And the good old Amiga Lightwave, 40th anniversary of Amiga. This month, July comes to a close in 2025. And, it's always fun to fire up the old Amiga emulation or the real hardware if you've got it. See some of the magic that's 30 years old software-wise, 40 years old Amiga-wise. And this Amiga setup here is a 4000 AJ Amiga. It does have the Cyber graphics in it, the Picasso 4. And a lot of memory. I believe we've got, you probably saw there at the start there, 128 megabytes of memory and the 2 megs of chip. Running good old 3.2.3 here. We'll go ahead and go back over here. And one of the things I wanted to see here is we've got just this light here. We got a spotlight here. So let me see what that's going to look like. We're going to turn off anti-aliasing. That'll just slow us down for now. And to see what we've got here, we're just a simple little shadow map spotlight. So yeah, I think the last time I did this video, I didn't do any shadows because I was thinking The Last Starfighter didn't have shadows, the movie. But, somebody pointed out that it did have a couple scenes where they did spend the time to render with shadows. And that was pretty cool. So I figured, you know what? We're not going to be trying to recreate anything or follow any rules of the day. We're just going to see what we can do with our accelerated virtual Amiga 4000 with Lightwave 5.0, this 30-year-old software, what kind of pretty things we can make. So I've got a nice looking kick light going on there. That looks all right. And I think what we want to do next is just add us a nice little cool fill light. Phil's always super cool, isn't he? Cool Phil. Yeah, I like Phil. Tends to feel a little blue. Not sure why. Maybe life just didn't work out for him and he's feeling a little down, little blue. But you know what? We're going to take his blueness and apply it to our 3D render here and add some joy, right? Make things a little happy. So we're going to bring up that fuzziness. We're going to try and make this really soft. I think my key is like 128, so I'll let the fill stay the same. And I'm going to keep this fill, the cone angle, pretty darn wide actually. And there it is. There's that light. We can see it. And you might be asking yourself, well, Q, if you're just going to do Lightwave 5, you're just playing around and you're working on a virtual Amiga and it's got, it's a fake acceleration on it, why don't you just use Lightwave 5 on Windows? And I've thought about doing that, but there's some charm that's lost with that. The Windows version of Lightwave is kind of clunky. I mean, it first came out with version 4 and then version 5. And of course, the Windows version lived on with multiple versions afterwards. And the last release to the public version of Lightwave on the Amiga was 5.0, what we're using here. Yeah, there was a beta for 5.5 on Amiga, but that has been long since lost. I promise you. Oh, it's long gone. I've talked to developers. I've talked to tech people that were in the business with me, and it's long gone, guys. I'm really sorry about that. If you're out there and you're a fan and you're desperately seeking any kind of Lightwave 5.5 for the Amiga, it's a no-go. It's not going to happen. So there we go. Always saving because you never know what's going to happen. Let's see what this fill light looks like. Looks like it's going to be too bright. There we is. Yeah, that's not too bad. It's kind of hitting us here. What would be nice to do is put something red back here, just kind of stick into our old 3-light formula. We've got our little rim kick. We've got a nice little soft fill. It would be fun is just to stick a planet. Now, you probably saw earlier as I was scrubbing the animation here, there's a little dude hanging out there, a little spaceship, bad guy spaceship, but we're not going to worry about him right now. He's not of our concern. Right now, we're just focusing on this Gunstar right here. So one of the things I want to do is, do I have a planet just ready to go? Wouldn't that be great? Oh, that would be so awesome if I had a planet ready to go. Let's see here. Space. Space is a very big place. Well, look at this. We've got a planet. Let's go ahead and load this one up. And we're going to turn off all the shadow cast stuff. That's a no-go. Don't want that. Go to our top view. There's our beautiful planet. We'll go ahead and grab the planetoid here, and we're going to push it way, way back. Now, you're going to hear some clunking in the background. I'm sorry about that. That's my mouse picking it up and dragging it and smacking it. So as you can see, there it is. There's the planet. It's so big, in fact, you can see the angular polygons of it. So I'm going to go ahead and size it down just a little bit. And don't worry, we can make this not so angular. Push it over there. But that's pretty cool. I'm trying to, where do you want it to break at, right? You don't want to have this just the planet sitting right in the middle of the frame or only off to the left. I mean, you could creep the planet way, way over here and go for more of a, high orbit. Actually, that does feel kind of nice, doesn't it? I mean, having the planet sort of here, like it just came out of it, but this kind of feels nice. Maybe we'll leave the planet right there, right? Yeah, it stayed there. So what does this planet even look like? Is it even red? I don't know. Let's find out. There we go. Oh, it's it's a nice soft blue planet. Well, blue's fine too. I mean, we've got our blue light already. We just have to kind of rotate that blue light around, huh? And get it over here. Yeah. I mean, you can also change the color of this planet. How is this planet colored? Is it a texture? Is it just coloring? Is it fractal noise? Our good old fractal noise. There's our atmosphere. It's sure enough, it's blue atmosphere. That's just a simple color. There's the planet. It does appear to be a texture, but it is just fractal noise. And what color is it? Oh, it's all kinds of colors, greens and things. Okay. So let's go ahead and grab our cool fill and let's move him over here. Now, one thing that you're probably going to notice is the planet's going to look really dark after I get done doing this because why? There's no light hitting the planet right now. We've got cool fill over here kind of doing its thing. But watch what happens here. We're going to go in here, move that. That's all I've done. I've moved the light. I haven't changed anything else. Nothing else has changed. So now we've got the planet light. See how the planet now is kind of kicking here? But look, the planet, it's gone. Oh no, it's gone. So what we need to do is give the planet its own light source. Yeah, it can't see itself. It's blinded. It's not having a good day here. But cool Phil, you know what, man? You need to get a little more intense. You're too mellow. You're too cool. Let's get you a little more into the blue. Yeah, let's crank up that blue. That's nice. I like that. And then what we're going to do is we don't need to make our planet. Our planet's already that blue atmosphere, right? So we're going to go to this light. We're going to clone it. We'll just make one. We'll come down here and we'll say rename. And we're going to call this light planet. I like that, right? Light planet. And then you guessed it. What am I going to do with it here? Well, I'm going to point it at the planet. And we'll back up here a little bit more. We don't want to get the ship because the ship already has light on it. Don't want to mess with that. So we'll go ahead and grab this here. And we need to make this a little wider. Can't go too wide though. Can't go too wide. We don't really need to shadow map it either. We just need to illuminate the planet. There we go. There we go. Just kind of hit the planet here. Not really going to know what this looks like until we press the good old magic F9 button. And we'll even leave the light intensity at 100 for now. I think cool fill was at 50. Yeah, okay. Go there. And now hopefully we should see a little more intense blue on fill. We sure do. And then yeah, now the planet is getting light. There's a hint of a planetoid there, right? So let me think. Balance that a little more. I mean, it's all right, looking pretty nice though, isn't it? Yeah, the Amiga. I mean, we're accelerating here. We're seeing our results a little faster than you could back in the day, sure. But still, this ability of this software back then is just really, really super, super cool. I just love staring at this stuff. It's these old pixels, the old rendering technology, 30-year-old rendering technology. Oh, it's just a lot of fun. Look at that, 4 seconds for that one too, right there, 4 seconds. That's not bad, huh? And let's grab the planet. And I want to bring it up a little more. I know when we first started, I kind of had it breaking more than center of frame like that. So the spaceship isn't so much just against the blackness of space here. We've got the planet. Now, because I've done that, if we go back to our light here, our light planet, is it still going to be getting enough light? It looks like it probably is, isn't it? You think it's going to get enough light? Press F9 and let's find out. Don't have to guess. We got a button on the keyboard. Smash it. Oh, yeah, there we go. So I'm wondering if what we're seeing here is, now we know we moved that planet way out here, right? But what's going on there? If we move the planet way out here, is this just because we're not hitting it with enough light? You know what? That very well could be. So what I want to do next is grab this light, and we're gonna, yeah, we're gonna go ahead. You can see there's the spaceship right here, right? We're gonna bring this light and we're gonna come way around on it. We're gonna come up a little higher on it. I really want to make sure it's getting all the planet that we can see is getting that light. So there it is. You know, and this is the process. It's a trial and error. You keep moving things, you keep shuffling things around and see what you can get. That's the whole thing here. Yep, sure enough, there you go. Just needed to get some more light on it. Now, one of the things you'll see here is obviously we have this dark spot. Now in space, I mean, you've got the bounce of the Earth light here, and you've got the sunlight here. It's very natural, very, approaching a realistic type effect. But, this is movie magic time, and we want to fill some of this in. So we're going to add another fill light. He's going to call up his cousin. His cousin Bill the Fill. We'll go ahead and, no, that's silly. We won't do that. I'll just add another light here. But also when we're in here, see this atmosphere? I mean, we're really close to the planet. And this planet was probably designed to be much further away than we're ever getting to it here. But we can try and do some improvements on that. So let's come back. Let's take it all back here. Go back to the planet. Now we see that we've got a bunch of different things here. So one of the things we can try, it's got a bump map on it too. It does fractal bumps. See these frequencies here? Yeah, I'm thinking we're going to mess with the frequencies. And this only has one texture on it, that weird green. We're gonna increase this just to 3. We're not gonna go wild with it. We're just gonna take it to 3. And let's see if that atmosphere has any texturing on it. It does not. All right, you know what? Let's go ahead and have the bump match it. We'll go to 3 on the bump. I just want to see if this will add a little more detail without maybe breaking it, right? We don't want the planet to look completely bizarre. It needs to be fairly vague. So it did. You can start to see now we've got a little more of the dark splotches coming in. You can definitely still see that kind of classic old fractal math happening here, right? There's like these weird, almost like plush shapes you can see. It's just the math kind of breaking down because we're way too close for the number of frequencies. Now you can, if you want, you're like, well, Q, why don't you just crank it, buddy? Just take it up there. Let's go up to like 8. Ooh, 8 frequencies. My. That's a lot. What kind of frequency do I operate on? I wonder sometimes. So let's see what that looks like. Yeah, well, look at that. That maybe was the solution, right? Now we're just kind of getting a little more detailed cloud look and random planet look. There's some of that faceting look still happening here. But again, like I said, I promise we can address that too. But that's looking nice. A little last starfighter there. All right, so we've made some progress. Let's go ahead and let's save that planet. We're going to give this planet a different name, of course. We'll call it VO2. There we go. And we've already saved this scene as a new version, I believe. We sure did, 728, yeah, version Gunstar 4, so that's fine. So what we can do, watch this. We're going to go up back to Workbench, and we're going to fire up Modeler. And let's go ahead and find that planet. There it is, Planet V2. And what I'm going to do is a pretty simple trick here. I'm gonna subdivide it, and we could just try smooth. Let's see what smooth does. Now, one of the things smooth does, it does give you more, polygons, but sometimes it doesn't really help with the faceting. So there she is. And one of the neat tricks we could do is the old metaform trick, which really smooths it out. So let's try that. Okay, this flickering you're seeing is an issue because we have this set to moving. Moving does sometimes kind of have that kind of weird problem. So we'll set it to static, and that way you can just see it this way. There you go. See how smooth that looks now? All right, so let's do a save as. And again, we've made a pretty substantial change to this. I'm going to go ahead and just version it up to version 3. And then we go ahead and jump over to layout. And we'll go to our planet, and we'll replace it with version 3. quite a few more polygons. And look at that. Oh, look how smooth she is now. Smooth as a Klingon's forehead right there. Oh, very nice, very nice. But this is the last starfighter, so that's the wrong species, Q. Let's get that other light in there. So we know we've got cool fill. Let's clone up cool fill. You notice I'm just cloning lights because it's simpler. I already have these things built. And we need to move this now. We need to get it up and fill in those areas that are pretty darn dark. And again, just keep all of this lighting right here. Now, one of the things you might see is, well, Q, you're going to run into a problem. You've got this warm light and it's going to hit the planet. It's true. It is going to hit the planet. And that may be a good thing or it may be a bad thing. I don't know until we find out. Let's press F9 and find out. Maybe it'll add some different flair or look to the planet that we like. Won't know until we try. No, doesn't even really read. I think the lighting is too intense already. But yeah, see, look at that. Look at this nice, very nice, 80s CGI, kind of that smooth look, that really nice kind of classic retro look for 3D. I mean, it's just a thing of beauty. It really is. It's its own unique look. And you know what? Let's go ahead and get some of that good old anti-aliasing. Let's get those jagged edges smoothed out. We want to see something that's smooth as smooth. So we'll go ahead and save the scene again and press F9. This will take just a second or two, I think. Maybe more than a second or two, right? So in this setting, we're using our enhanced medium 9 passes of anti-aliasing. It's where Lightwave comes in here. It is still using a threshold. You set that threshold there with the adaptive sampling, and it basically re-renders all of the pixels here based on that threshold instead of the other mode. So the non-enhanced, you're just going to get that white highlighting effect. You've seen that in my other videos where you get like this white edge highlighting. That's because it's only really doing the contrast areas where the pixels are jagged, whereas enhanced kind of does all the pixels. It's almost like a super sampling. Oh yeah, look at that. See, isn't that nice? When we get our smooth pixels. It's very cinematic too. We got our letterbox format here. It's very pretty. Now it's kind of hard to tell because there is nothing happening over here, but look how pretty that looks. It's almost worthy of a desktop image, isn't it? We could put that as a desktop image on our Amiga. Oh, that is gorgeous. Let that sit there for a second. It's very pretty. Oh, there we go. And there we have it, folks. The Gunstar from the last Starfighter in Amiga Lightwave 5.0. And yeah, it's a lot of fun. As you can see, just playing around Lightwave, it's a sandbox. It's a crayons and construction paper thing, whatever you want to call it. It's building a puzzle, but it's the same type of thing. You can just sit down with it, load it up. It comes with a bunch of objects. I don't know how to model myself, so I always appreciate being able to find objects like this to play with. You saw I just loaded that planet in from the vault there that it comes with, and just play with things and get to learn the ins and outs and create pictures like this. And again, you could use this as a backdrop picture on your workbench or your Mac or your PC or whatever you want to do with it. You could even print it and hang it on the wall if you want. This is Q signing off. Thanks for watching. And if you liked it, you know what to do.